Hello everyone, this is Nickredace back from Spookmas with this long overdue video on Chaos Deck. This time I'll be taking a quick look at 3 Chaos decks that I've made, going over their archetypes a little bit, and the basic combos and how they work as a Chaos deck. The first deck we're going to be looking at is the Thunder Dragon archetype. Thunder Dragons have a very decent setup with Thunder Dragon and Dark Thunder Dragon, but without having a Chaos card in your hand to follow up, the rest of the deck is kind of lackluster. From a consistency standpoint, the deck is fantastic, able to constantly recycle its cards, and it has several protections using cards such as Dragon Matrix, Dragon Lord, and Thunder Dragon Titan, though its ability has a hefty cost of 2 your monsters in the graveyard. Sadly, with the protection and consistency this deck has, it lacks offensive power. Though most of its cards have okay stats, they don't have much else. Titan seems to be one of the only cards in the deck with destruction capability, though you could use the deck for link summoning in different fusions, but as a Chaos deck per se, it doesn't work too well. Mostly because the deck itself can't last if you don't have a Chaos card, and even if you have a Chaos card, the card can easily be removed. The deck not being able to work as Chaos deck is kind of surprising considering Thunder Dragon and Dark Thunder Dragon work so well to give resources into the graveyard. A good starting combo in this deck, you can start off with Aloof Lupine, banish 2 Thunder monsters, then use Thunder Dragon Fusion to summon Titan, then, if you have it, banish a 3rd Thunder monster for Dragon Lord, which leaves you with protection and a decent field. Our next attempt is a Toolbox Chaos deck. This deck utilizes many utility cards to delay your opponent until you're able to summon your Chaos boss monsters. We use discard cards to send some of the Chaos cards to the grave, seeing as most of them are dark, and cards such as Damage Juggler to keep us alive while fueling the graveyard. We also use the Thunder Dragon, Thunder Dark Dragon engine to increase consistency in this deck. Boss monsters in this deck are similar to Thunder Dragon ones, using Chaos Creator, Envoy at the beginning, Envoy at the end, and link card Black Luster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. From a consistency standpoint, this deck is nowhere near as good as Thunder Dragons, and they lack a bit of their defense too, but they make up for it in utility and a better offense. The best way to play is using Thunder Dragon, add only one of them to your hand, so that you can then repeat it to get a 2nd Thunder Dragon in your graveyard. Then use Dark Thunder Dragon to get a dark card in your graveyard, after which you can use Dragonhawk to summon the additional card you're going to use, or use it as fuel for link summons, then summon a Chaos monster from the other 2, and that's your board. I couldn't get these decks, to me at least, up to the standard that I would set for a casual play. Their inconsistency leads to bricking a large portion of the time, and the decks as a whole, though when they combo off each other, it can be very nice. If they don't, it's pretty much scoop, go for next match. The last deck I made was almost a no-brainer when I found out about them, which I did after playing Duel Masters, and this deck is Elemental Sabers. Elemental Sabers are the bedrock of this deck, and use it to great effect with Chaos monsters. First off, all Elemental Sabers have a graveyard effect that allows them to change your attribute to any other attribute, which is self-explanatory when it comes to Chaos creation. Turn 1 to light, and 1 to dark. But that wasn't all. It even has a way to send 2 monsters to the graveyard from your deck or hand in order to fuel those Chaos monsters. From a consistency standpoint, they are far by the best. Their field spell allows you to add them to your hand. Each of them has utility ability from negating effects, sending cards from your graveyard to your deck, or your deck to your hand, even getting cards from your graveyard to your hand. But their best card, their boss monster per se, is La Polia Mana. His effect requires you to send 2 monsters from your hand to the graveyard in order to summon him, and based on the attributes of the Elemental Saber monsters you send, all Elemental Saber monsters gain certain protections. If you have Earth or Wind, Elemental Sabers cannot be destroyed by battle. Water or Fire, Elemental Sabers cannot be destroyed by effects, and Light or Dark, Elemental Sabers cannot be targeted by your opponent's effects. Now, considering the fact with their field spell, you can send cards from your deck instead of your hand, you can choose any one of these. I like to go with Earth/Wind and Light/Dark, because they give you the most used protection, as you would be unable to be destroyed by battle, and unbeing targeted by card effects. Next, I could add another one of the Lapilia mana to my hand, fill in the other slot, water, and then that means the only way to defeat the Elemental Sabers is by tributing them, as they have now protection from battle, destruction effects, and being targeted. And this is while setting up the graveyard for our Chaos monsters, which also include Chaos Daedalus, which adds extra destruction since Palace of the Elemental Lords is almost always on the field. But this deck isn't done just yet. Put in a Moon Mirror Shield or Magnum Shield, and you can start dealing more than 4,000 damage in no time. This isn't the best deck ever, but for Chaos consistency and for the ability to run very well by itself until you draw these Chaos cards, and the nice bit of survivability, protection, and offense that the other two decks really couldn't do, I've got to say it's the best place to start when making a Chaos deck, for now at least. I'm working on a long-awaited update to my Zombie Reveant deck in which I'll show off the newest zombie cards, which could be a game changer when it comes to zombies. This has been Nickredace,